Hi everybody and welcome to Monday's maths lesson. Today we're going to be thinking a little bit about coordinates and a reminder about coordinates. Now we looked at these before Christmas when you drew a picture of a Christmas tree using coordinates, if you remember, and we also had a question about coordinates in one of our maths warm-up, and I know lots of you struggle to remember. So first of all, we're going to have a quick reminder of what coordinates are. We're going to be working our way through this video and there'll be activities for you to do along the way. So you will need to have a pen or pencil and a piece of paper. If you have got squared paper, that would make it easier. If not, don't worry about it. You can use line paper or plain paper, and as long as you understand the process and the concept, it'll be absolutely fine. So if you need to go grab anything, pause the video and you can go get what you need. We are looking at coordinates this week because later in the week we're going to be moving on to thinking about shapes and translations, and we will be using grid and coordinates to help us do that. Before we start working our way through the activities together today, I'm going to remind you about how to use coordinates. The rule that we use, and this is something we've spoken about before, is along the corridor and up the stairs. So you look at the x-axis first, and then you look at the y-axis second. You can see these are labelled X and Y to help you. So we say along the corridor and up the stairs to help us. That's how we read coordinates. Also, when we write coordinates, just a reminder, they're in a bracket and you have the first number, then a comma, so that's the x-axis, and then you have the y-axis and you close the bracket. So that's what it looks like when you record or write down coordinates. Let's have a look at this first activity together. It says here, the digits in a pair of coordinates add to make 8. What could the coordinates be? I suggest when you have a think about this and work your way through, you work through logically. So the digits in the pair of coordinates add to make 8. Let's look at the first one together, and then I'll look at a few afterwards that you can check off, and then you can send them over to me to have a look at Dojo. So the first one, they add together to make 8. So let's imagine it is 0, 8. So I'm going to have a look at 0 on my x-axis, which is right here. And then I need to look at 8 on my y-axis, which is here. So I need to plot my mark there, 0, 8. If I'm working logically, my next point would be 1, 7. So I'm going to find 1 on my x-axis, which is here, and I'm going to read up to 7 on my y-axis, which is here, and make a note of it. What I would like you to do is pause the video and have a go yourself. Let's have a look at the next couple together, and then I look forward to seeing them sent in to me via Dojo. If we were working logically, you might have 2 and 6, because I know 2 add 6 equals 8. So we're going to look at 2 on the x-axis. We're going to read up to 6. The next one, 3, 5. 5 and 3 make 8. So I'm looking at 3 on my x-axis and I'm reading up to 5. You can see I'm starting to create a line. If you've had any problems or done anything wrong, go back and have a look. The main issues that you could have is not reading the x-axis first, so starting along the corridor and then going up the stairs. Also knowing that the coordinate point is where 2 lines cross in the middle. So you can see those x's that I've put on aren't in the middle of a box, in the middle of a square. They're where the 2 lines intersect. Let's have a look at the next problem together. Are the coordinates of each point correct? In a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and have a go and check off whether A is right, B is right, C is right. You could just write A and give it a tick or a cross. Let's have a look at the first one together. A says 1, 4. So let's have a look. Along the corridor and up the stairs, we start with X. So 1, 4. A is absolutely in the right place. So I would give A a tick. Double check when you work your way through these that you are looking at the x-axis followed by the y-axis. So you're going to read them and see if it's true or false. When you have a look at B, for example, a common misconception could be is that they've mixed the X and the Y axis. Remember, you read the X axis first and the Y axis second. Pause the video, have a go. You can either tick or write true or false next to it, and then that can be uploaded to Dojo when you're finished. Let's have a look at the next activity. It says find these coordinates in order. And what word do the letters spell? So you're going to have a look, and first job you're going to find is 6, 3 to find out what letter that is pointing you towards. So I know that 6 is going to be along my x-axis because I look at my x-axis first along the corridor, and then 3 is up on my y-axis up the stairs. So I'm looking at 6, 3, and I can see that the letter is E. So I need to write that down as the first letter of my word. Work your way through those, and then you can write that down so I can have a look at it on Dojo. Complete the coordinates below and plot any missing points on the grid. If we have a look at at part A, we've got here 5, 3. I know that I need to plot that one on my grid. If you haven't got squared paper, you can just draw a rough grid out for yourself. That's absolutely fine. So 5, 3, I'm looking at the x-axis first, and I'm reading up to the 3 on the y-axis. So I know that point A belongs there. Point B, I don't need to plot point B, but I do need to write down the coordinates. And you can see how the coordinates are bracket, then we have the x-axis, then a comma, then the y-axis, and then a close to our bracket. Let's just have a look at B together, and then you can carry on and work your way through. So B on the x-axis is 6, and looking up, it's at 2. So you're seeing the 2 where it meets on the line. So on that space in B here, you'd be writing 6, 2. Be careful that it's the x-axis first. If you need to remind yourself, we have the x-axis and the y-axis. I'm thinking of a coordinate. The value of x is between 3 and 6, and the value of y is between 2 and 5. Which coordinate could it be? And explain your answer. For this activity, you need to think about what number could x be. It's between 3 and 6, so I would write down your possibilities. The value of y is between 2 and 5. Again, write down your possibilities. What could the number be? Then you need to see whether any of those coordinates match any of these and give me an explanation. So pause the video now, work out what the possibilities are, and have a go at answering this question. Our next problem. Billy has written the coordinates for a pentagon. A pentagon is a 5-sided shape, any shape with 5 sides. This is an irregular pentagon because all the sides are different lengths. Billy has written the coordinates for a pentagon. Correct any mistakes he has made. You need to double check with his coordinates that he has written them correctly. The common misconception when working with coordinates is that you do not put the x-axis first. Remember, along the corridor and up the stairs, it's x first and then y. So you need to check whether Billy has got those coordinates correct. We are moving on now to our last problem. So point A is 3, 5. Point C is 8, 3. You need to use this information to work out the coordinates of points B, D, E, and F. Let's have a look at point A to start with. So we know point A is 3 On the x-axis, we've got here from the 0, 1, 2, 3, which takes us up to A. So I know that that's 3 there. And let's double check at the side that it is counting in ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is. So I can label that in with a 5. Sorry about my drawing, it's pretty tricky on the iPad. So we have got here 3 and 5 for A. So you need to work out what the other coordinates are. You could draw this grid and fill in the gaps to help you. In this case, giving you a big clue that the scales are counting in ones. Sometimes they don't, do they? We know that from when we're looking at different scales of measurement, different units of measurement. The scale at the side could be counting in ones or it could be counting in 2s or 5s. We look for those patterns. But this one is counting in ones. And you just need to remember that you look at the x-axis and then the y-axis. If you've got any questions, then please drop me a dojo. Hopefully you've worked your way through this video and you've managed to stop and look at each question and have a really good go at answering it. If you've got any questions, like I said, drop me a dojo and I look forward to seeing your work uploaded to your portfolio. Take care, everybody.